Very good afternoon, all the students. Assalamu alaikum, and a big hello to all. Hope you're enjoying and hope you have watched all the parts, right? Part 1 to part 5, and let's get quickly started with part 6 today. As part 6 will be, in part 6, we'll be thoroughly concentrating on layouts and alignments of sections and div. So, alignment is very important, right? So, let's quickly get started, right? So, if you have, directly jump into video 6, I want you guys to go back and watch video 1 to video 5 because that's going to add up to your knowledge, and which is again the prerequisite for today's class. So let's quickly get started with HTML today. Now what I have done for you guys, I have just erased everything so that we can see layouts from the scratch, right? So this is what we had and this is what we have now. A plain HTML page with only the text set out. We have this text now, and I'm using Dreamweaver, and I reckon if you guys can download Notepad++, right? Download Notepad++ and start designing using Notepad++. Alright, so let me tell you about layouts, right? So I've already told you about, for example, if I design a div, so the moment I open this, I am defining this div, so the boundary of this div will be defined, right, by the closing tag of the div. So it's not a self-closing tag. Anything that does not take content is going to be self-closing tag, right? So anything that takes content cannot be self-closed because you have to define boundaries right here. And as I have already done, right, so wrapper, right? So I call this as a wrapper, and let me quickly go and style it in CSS, and I call ID by hash, you know that, right? So we're not going to learn the same thing, but yeah, we are going to more focus on layouts and alignments here and there, right? So now I want this wrapper to be aligned, let's say about in the center. I've already told you that for that, what I will do, first let us give margin. Let's say width is going to be 90%, and always your main wrapper should never have height. It should always have minimum height, right? Minimum height is let's say about 500 pixels, or let me go ahead and mix 700 pixels, right? And background, just to check the alignment, so I'll give background color as red, right? So for background color, do not use background, use always background color. So this part is done, so let me see. And now, since you're aware that it's coming from this side, I can ill afford to give margin left, margin right, margin top, and margin bottom. And in order to make automatic margins from all four sides, what I do, I say margin auto. So this is what you are already aware of, right? So now you can see the site is aligned to center, right? And now the second thing, right? For example, we went for header, right? So it's going to be a revise also. So we created header, right, and this header div is inside the main parent, which is a wrapper. Let's call this header id is equal to main header, right? And this main header will be styled, right? So I will now say, always remember, if I say width 100%, it's not going to be the 100% of total available area, it's going to be the 100% of available area, which is as that of the wrapper. So right, it's going to take 100% of wrapper, which is 90%. So here the main header will also be having 90% total width, right? So you already know that. So let me go ahead and say height is equal to 150 pixels, right? All right, so okay, let me go and color body. So I'll say I'll target body. So why don't I give name to body or any ID to body? Body, we don't give ID because we have only one body in entire web page. We cannot have more than one bodies, right? So the entire web page can have only, or can contain only one body, and inside body there can be multiple headers, footers, articles, asides, div. So that's expected, right? So let's quickly go and assign background color to body, and you can choose from here in case if you are using Dreamweaver. If you do not have, you can go to the online color picker. Alright, so I have shown you how to use color chooser, which converts your colors to hexadecimal colors. So you already seen that, so I'll be using E5, 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 so who knows. Yeah, okay, so the background of my wrapper is going to be white. Now you can see that nicely aligned, and I already shown you border has to be a bit opposite of slightly darker than the body, right? Or slightly darker than the background. So it takes 3 parameters: color, type, and thickness, right? So now we have the border here. So maybe the border is too much, so let me go ahead with CCC. It should be moderate. Yeah, it's now nice. Now if I say body padding, if I give padding to body, let's say about 10 pixels, right? So body is going to come down from all 4 corners. So padding is going to be from bottom, from top, from left, and from right. Now if you do not want this gap right here, can you see this gap right here? Let me get rid of padding, so we don't have any padding here, right? So in case if you don't have padding and you do not want this gap, as you can see right here, if you do not want this gap, what do? You also type margin. The body should also have margin auto. Once you say that please take margin automatically, and now you can see the body, and you cannot see the top and the bottom, which is basically not a good practice, right? But yeah, since I have to show you, but what you can do instead, you can do this padding. There has to be padding, let's say about 1, let's say about 10, 10, 10, 10. So if I give this padding, right, so let me call this as 10 pixels, comma 10 pixels, comma 10 pixels, comma 10 pixels, right? It's not taking it. Padding is going to be 10. Okay, let me show you like this. 10 pixels is going to be from all 4 corners, right? So let me show you again. Yeah, so now it's not taken, so let me have only 10 rather than having pixels. Let me have 10, 10, 10, 10, top, right, left, and bottom, right? So it's still not taking it. I don't know why. So let me do it like this way. Padding dash top 10 pixels, right? So now you can see no, it's still not taking it. PADDING and G. So let me have it here. PADDING dash top 10 pixels. Maybe spelling was wrong. Yeah, you can see now you have padding top 10 pixels, and you cannot see the bottom. So for that you can even say padding bottom 10 pixels, right? So padding is required in the case you don't have margins. How do you margins? Either you'll have to say margin bottom or margin top of this wrapper, because you want the space to be seen, you want the space to be available from top side, and you want this available space to be from the bottom side as well. Now you can see the bottom of the wrapper and you can see top of the wrapper, right? And the second thing that I was trying to show you, if I say padding 10, 10, 10 and 10, it should work. But in our case it is not working. If I say 10 pixels, and let me see from any side, it's not affected. 10 pixels, 10 pixels and 10 pixels, right? So it should work. But since it's not working, so let's stick to that basics. So let's stick to basics. Alright, so let me carry on with this. So it is going to be now padding top 10 pixels and padding bottom 10 pixels, right? Save this, go back to main browser, refresh the browser, and you will see that padding is given from top side. Alright, and the padding is available from bottom side. So that's done, and let's go to our main header and assign a background. So I'll say background color, any color, just to check the alignment, right? Now this is your header div, right? Okay, we already done it, so no need to worry about these things. Let me go with 120 pixels, and background is going to be nothing. So let me have only border bottom as let's say about hash ccc 1 pixels, and sorry, it takes 3 properties, so you can assign. Now you can see we have this border bottom being assigned, or you can create a different color scheme. So let me go and create a different color scheme for you guys. Let me have a different color today. All right, okay, let me have this as the background dash color. All right, so background color is now something different. You can see now this is my background color. So now in case if you want logo here, so now the class starts today. Now if you want your logo, right, to be somewhere here, I want a nice logo here. In case if you want, you can go ahead, right? So this is going to be your logo. How do you do that, right? How to do that? How do you achieve that? And I want a nice banner to be underneath this, right, and over my banner, or let's say this is going to be my banner, right? So let's give banner an orange color, right, and on top of them I want a logo to be here. So this is going to be my logo, and I want a form to be here. So this is going to be my form, right? So in that way, what you do if you want to achieve this task of having logo maybe here, right, and let me say a login form to be here, right? If you want on top, if you want things to be on top, right? So I'll show you that today, right, in case if you want things to be on top. All right, so let me carry on and go ahead with our logo now. All right, so inside a header, what I'll do, I will create a div, right, and or we can create let's say about an aside. So I'll say aside class is equal to main logo, right? So because we have to assign it and align it to this, right? Now this is my main logo. Let me style this main logo first, right? I'll go back and say hash main header. Inside main header, I will have main logo. Please style it. I have main logo. Please style it. I'll say width is equal to 300 pixels. No problem. I will say height is equal to 200 pixels. I'll say no problem. And background is going to be something, anything, because we don't require background. We have to align it. We have to assign a div over here. Now you can see, now it has come. It has gone also down, right? It has gone down a bit right here, right here. So now if you want and this div to have some margin, so I can say margin left 10 pixels to the aside main logo. Now it has gone 10 pixels or 20 pixels, and let's say margin top 30 pixels. Right, now the picture starts. Now you may not be able to give it margin top. You can see once you give this margin top, because it's going outside the boundary, right, it takes the div which is aligned with itself, right? So this logo aside is inside the section main header, right? This is the header and it's inside header. So the moment I say margin top, what happens? It goes down and it also takes the main header down. That is because of positioning. You haven't set the right position, right? So I will set the position here and see the magic. Position absolute. Then the moment you set position absolute, you are telling the browser that, hey browser, this div overrides all the divs. It's coming over on top of all the div. So this is what I created here and this is what I have now. Now what is it? It is position absolute, right? And what this position absolute does, it takes the div on top of a div, or it takes a section on top of a section, right? It takes any HTML element to be on top of the element, right? Now since I have made this on top of this, I have aligned this on top of this, that means it doesn't matter wherever the boundary is, because it doesn't look for boundaries, right? It looks for margins and where it has started from, right? So position absolute will make it on top. I repeat, position absolute, if you want to make any section to come over the section can be anything. It can be div, it can be aside, it can be section, right? It can be an article, so it can be anything. So this is why position absolute is very important here. So let us complete this section right here. All right, so let me have it to 150 and 250. I don't require any background color because I have to assign logo here. I'll use let me use #FFF. But if you want to give it some background, what happened? Background dash color. Okay, right, now you can see it here. But still, if you want to give some nice effects here, first let me basically go with this background. So let me go with background, and I say background URL, right? So I'll say background URL is equal to imgs. I've downloaded a PNG image. Okay, let me see that. I have it here, so that is logo trans.png. So I'll go with this logo trans.png. So I want this to be the background of my div right here. Okay, now it's not coming. So what happened? Let me go. Yeah, we have to go one step back, as I said earlier. Go one step. Okay, go one step back. Sorry, wrong slash. And go to imgs. Why do I go one step back? Because there is no folder imgs, no folder with the name imgs here in styles folder. I have to go one step back, so that's why I typed one step back. Once you go one step back, then and only then will you be able to find imgs folder, right? And then you go to imgs and call this logo trans.png to be your background. So let me show this. Yeah, since now it is aligned and logo is quite big, and the area is very small. So as you know that. So for that, like what we can do, I can say background, let's say background dash size. I have to define a background size. I'll say automatic. So adjust the background size automatically, so it cannot adjust automatically. Let me have a 200 pixels. Right, so 200 pixels, is that so? Maybe 300 pixels. Now you can see that image is repeating, right? Isn't it? It's repeating from this side and it's repeating from that side. Let me show you once again. If I set background size as 200 pixels, the image is repeating. So for that, what you do, I'll use background repeat as no repeat. Please do not repeat background. Now you can see I haven't repeated the background, so the background is not repeated, and I'll go with 220 pixels. Yeah, 220 pixels looks quite good. And I still require, now what you are doing here, background color will be overridden with this background URL here. But what if I still want background color there, right? So what I do, I'll just get rid of this. I will say background and give it color #FFF and give it a bit of space. First, use the background color as white, or you can say white, and then use image over the white background of the div. So this can also be done. Now you can see that I have a background color of div, and along with the background color of div, I still have this img, and I am not repeating my images, and my background has a fixed size as well. Let me give this padding of 10 pixels. No, where to give padding, right? Okay. And I want this background. You can even use no repeat here. no dash. I can use it here. No dash. No dash. No repeat. You can use it here. Right. Right. You can see no repeat is even used here. Right, and you can use the position, which is center. You can use it here, background position, and you can see both are working. Right, so I'll go here and use a separate tag for background position center. Right, so background position is now center. Now you can see the image is coming at the center, right? And it doesn't still look like over it, because the top side may look over it, right? Because it doesn't give us that sense of UI design, because the bottom side is white and the background of the div is still white. You can still manage it. You can still manage it by giving box dash shadow. I can give box shadow 1 pixels, 1 pixels, 1 pixels, right, 0 pixels, and I can give a color. What color do you want your background shadow to be? Now you can see it creates that shadow, right? You can see that shadow is created, a bit of shadow from this side, a bit of shadow from this side, right? And let me, instead of 0 pixels, have 1 pixels there, so that shadow is created towards all the portion. Now you can see it has created, it's top, right, left, and bottom. You can increase it if you want. Yeah, the shadow is increased. Now it's looking much better. Right, if you want more shadow, you can increase it from the left side, you can increase it from the top side, and you can increase it from the bottom side. Right, now you can see more shadow, but I think it doesn't look good. In my case, 1 pixels was quite okay. So let's not overdo things. Right, so do not underdo them, nor overdo them, just do them perfectly. Now you can see that it looks like this is designed, right? It's styled and designed very well. That's why it's coming on top here, right? So this is position absolute for you, and the new thing that we have learned today is box shadow. And second thing that we have learned, that we can even have background, right, as a color. We can give background color, and on top of the color we can assign an image. We can use image as well, and instead of using background repeat no repeat, we can use no repeat here as well. So this is one and the same thing. Now since this is aligned, let me go quickly and get a banner for you guys, right? Or get a navigation, and then after the navigation you can get a banner. But my job for navigation, right, my navigation style today is going to be completely different, because while teaching you and training you guys on layouts, I will train you on color combinations and design as well. Alright, so is that done? Now let me start with directly section, right? So I'll say section ID is equal to banner, right? Or we can say, because it's not supposed to be a container, I'll go with section class main. Let's call this main banner. Alright, so since, close it down. So this section starts here, closes here. The section has a parent known as wrapper. This header has a parent known as wrapper. The aside has a parent known as header. As simple as anything. Right, so here as usual I can go with img src, and I can choose image. So here I don't have to go one step back, because I'm not using CSS here. You can see I can directly go to image, right? I'll say image, what is the name, by the way? Image slash, I don't know, so let me see. It is banner2.jpg. Right, so I'll be using banner2. I'm doing it completely different today, right? In the last video, in the previous video, we used img src for logo, and we used div background for banner. So I am doing it completely different today. So div background is aside here, and the banner is with img here, right? Okay, now we have been able to do that. Banner2.jpg is inside imgs folder, right? So let me see whether it has come. Yeah, now it has come, but it's quite big. So let me do my R&D with this, right? So I still have to do my R&D. So let me call main banner, right? So main banner has a parent, which is main, which is a wrapper, and inside wrapper I have a class known as main banner, right? Is that clear or not? Please tell me. All right, so and that main banner has, let's say, about a width of 100% of the wrapper, which is again 90% of the total available area. So I'll say maximum height, or I can use height. That means maximum height is going to be let's say about 250 pixels, because I cannot afford more than 250 pixels. Now still this div is coming over it. Now in case this div is overflowing, it's overflowing from there, it's overflowing from the bottom, it's overflowing from the top. So now in case you do not want your main container, like we are having this section here, if you do not want the section to overflow, right, so you can give overflow as scroll. Whenever overflow happens, please scroll. Now you can see that the specific area is covered, but the overflow is controlled with scroll here, right? Overflow from the x on the y-axis, this is y-axis overflow, and this is overflow on the x-axis, and this is controlled like here. Or you can do the second thing, you can say whenever overflow happens, what you got to do is, right, keep overflow hidden. I do not want overlapping to happen when it overflows. Now since overflow is hidden, now this is the main area that you have to use your IMG within, right? So let me go with 350 pixels banner. Yeah, it looks much better. 350 pixels banner looks much better. Or let me go with 390 pixels banner. Okay, so this banner looks much better, right? So this is how you can play along with different things. And one of the basic differences between IMG SRC is that you can right click and save image as, you can save image directly, or you can right click, open image in new tab. You can open image in new tab and it opens in new tab. And now if you use this div here, neither can you right click nor can you save the image using right click. Why? Because this is not IMG SRC tag, it is a div background. What I am doing, I am assigning this image to be used as a background of the div. So in that case, you can see when I right click, I don't see anything like open image in new tag or set image as background, so I don't see those things, right? But here I do see, right? And let me quickly go and say that inside wrapper there is main banner, and inside main banner and there is IMG tag. What do you got to do with that IMG tag? Please set the width of IMG tag as 100% of the total available area. Now you can see that the image nicely fits in here, right? The moment you set 100%, because you cannot be, you can either set height or you can set width. I told you that we have to maintain and take care of the total aspect area, right? Aspect size, right? Aspect size is the width, and the width and the height has to be scaled. Even if you set height to 200 pixels, or you set anything you think is perfect, is yet not going to be perfect. You can see it stretches the image. Even if I set it to 300 pixels, yet you can see the image looks stretched. If I set it to 400 pixels, right, it does not look, but yeah, if you can see faces, it still looks a bit stretched, right? Not professional job. So you should let your browser do the job by scaling the image to the best possible extent, right? So this is where the logo is now, and this is where the image is, and this is everything is in front of you, right? As I said, I need something else. I need a form to be here, right? And I need my navigation also. So let me have that navigation, and for navigation this time I'll go inside the header div. So I'll create navigation inside header. Previously we did not create. It depends on the style that you think is much better for you. So I will go with nav, and I close down nav. Now nav has a parent, and that is a header, so right, and I'll say nav class is equivalent to main navigation. right? Okay, and now we know that we have UL and we have LI, right? And different things. So here we can have home, right? And we can have other links as well, right? So home, student is students, admissions, about company, admissions, students, right? COURS, courses, profile, anything that you want. That's what I mean. Now you can see it's coming right here, right? So what I got to do is style main nav now inside main header. So main nav is inside main header. So I'll say go to wrapper, and inside wrapper you will find header, right? And inside header, right, you are going to find main nav, right? So please do one thing: set the width of, or let can say background first. Just to check alignment, we set the background. So set the background to red so that I should be able to see. Okay, which it's not happening. Let me see, maybe I have done something wrong here. Main header is ID. Main header is ID. So I'll directly call main header because main header is the parent here. So main header has main navigation. Main header has main nav. Yeah, absolutely right. Calling main nav with dot means we're calling a class, and the class is inside the main header. Fine. So why am I doing this? You'll just come to know. Right. So now this is your main navigation. Background is red. So I will say width. Width is going to be only 50% of the total available area. Right. So now it's 50%. Please float it towards right, because left side I already have this logo kind of a thing, right? Absolutely no problem. And let me increase the fifth it to 70%, maybe to 80% of the total available area. No, maybe to 75%, right? So it looks much better. And let me decrease the height. Height is equal to 100 pixels. So now the height is only 100 pixels. Overflowing, so let me say overflow. I've already shown you overflow, right? So overflow is going to be hidden. Now the overflow is hidden. Okay, absolutely no problem. I want it to be, right here. So I'd say top 10 pixels. Not top, it's going to be margin dash top 10 pixels. Yeah, margin dash top maybe 20 pixels. Yeah, so now this is my navigation. Let me decrease the height and let me keep it to 80 pixels, maybe to 60 pixels, maybe to 50 pixels, who knows. Look what I do. Alright, so now it's here, and let me have it margin top 80 pixels, margin top 70 pixels. 70 pixels is quite good, right? And let me have width to 76%. Absolutely fine now, right? So this is supposed to be my main navigation now, right? So, and now the navigation may have a different style, right? We had that navigation previously that had a different style, right? So we are going to change styles while we learn alignment and layouts. And now I'll get rid of this background color red. Right, now you can see this navigation is right here. And the first thing that I will do with my navigation UL, right, and LI. Now I'm calling the main side, which is main header. Main header has main navigation, but do not forget it has main navigation has unordered list, right? You can see that, and unordered list has list items. So I'm targeting main header, main navigation. Inside main navigation we have UL. I'm targeting that. I'm targeting the LI as well, and I'll do as usual, right? Padding 0, margin 0. Why are you setting padding 0, margin 0? Because by default there is some kind of padding given to UL. So it has by default padding and margin set to 10 pixels, right? So I'm just getting rid of that so that I can align it as per my own convenience and design, right? And inside UL I am having LI, so that is the second option right here. The first thing first, list style none. I don't want those dots. The second thing, that, right? Display in line. So these are the two things. Now you are displaying them in line like pro, and now you can give padding to fit in. Padding of 10 pixels, absolutely right, and padding here as well. Padding 10 pixels, you can add 10 pixels padding here, yeah, right. And I forgot one thing today, right? I want to set, doesn't matter, right? Because the entire website has to be targeted for this, right? And what is this? I want my entire website to use a common font family, which is Arial. You can change it as per your own convenience, right? Okay, now I love Arial, and that's why I'm setting Arial. And LI will have line height, letter spacing. Let me give 1 pixel letter spacing here. Yeah, so now you can see, absolutely perfect, right? Okay, so this is going to be your navigation now. Let me add few more things. Profiles, right? Examination, right? And we can have login, or no, not to have login. Examination, gallery, whatever it is. Okay. So now this is how my navigation may look like. So let me get rid of this gallery. Okay, now the navigation is set, and you can clearly see that today we have used more layouts: flow towards right, flow towards left, and on top where we have used position absolute, and instead of using IMG SRC we have used div background, and div background has a background color, it has a background image, it has both of them. And here you can even set let's say about, if you want, you can say border dash right, 1 pixels hash, so you can go with the darker thing. Oh, solid. Right, now you are setting the border as well right here. Can you see this? Right, or you can go towards the lighter side if you want. You can go either towards the lighter side or towards the darker side, doesn't matter. Now you can see nice border. Alright, so let me give padding of 20 pixels so that it's more visible for you. Guys, maybe 20 pixels is too much, 15 pixels would suffice. Yeah, alright, and 15 pixels does suffice. So margin 10 pixels. Let me have this here. Okay, so now you can see that it looks absolutely fine with all the borders. Now you can see the border. Do they look nice? Yeah, borders do look nice, right? And okay, maybe we may have to do something with the color right here. So let me go ahead and use color, and let me go towards the lightest. Okay, let me go towards the lightest side possible. Alright, and see how the color affects. No, it's pinky. I don't want pinky colors. Alright, I want it towards the slightly lighter side. Alright, let me have more lighter FFF, so that way white is going to justify it more. Yeah, absolutely fine, absolutely fine. And let me have hover this time. Alright, and whenever you click LI and you try and do hover, hover means mouse over, right? I want my let's say about cursor, I want cursor to be set to pointer, and I want text decoration. I'll use another thing, text decoration to overline, right? So overline, set an overline. Now you can see overline. Whenever you pass, you can see that overline comes right here, right? And you can have some more links top on top of things, right? So you can have some more links up here, you can have some more links here, and you can see that everything is coming nice and easy, right? So let me take a look at timings first. So we still have crossed 40 minutes, right? So I'll give you a rough recap of what we have been able to do so far. What we have been able to achieve so far is we today created a wrapper which is div simple container that is going to contain the full website and header, and inside header we have navigation, right? And this navigation is now floating towards right side, and it's not outside the header inside the body. No, it's inside the header now, right? Why do I create it inside the header? Depends on your design and depends on the different designing patterns that you may choose in the near future once you get familiar with code and HTML and all the designing patterns. And now the second thing that we have chosen is we said that today we are going to make this logo come on top of this. That means half a div or half of the section should be with header and half of the section should be with the body, which is inside, and the body section, which is the content section or the banner section, right? So half is shared here, half is shared here, and we added some nice box shadow right here. You can see slight box shadow to make it more evident, right? And that's it, right? So what I want, show me the work, and you cannot procrastinate and deliberate the work for 20 days. When I say show me the work, please show it, right? And submit your work, right? Tell me if I can help you down in the comment section, or you can post your questions and queries in the group as well, right? Do practice very hard, and we'll continue this website, or maybe next time we'll do let's do many layouts today. Sorry, not today. Let's do many layouts first, right? In the next class we'll do another layout, and then we'll do another layout, and layout, right? So we'll keep on doing layouts unless you guys also become familiar of layouts and more designing patterns, just to give you guys an idea of designing, right? Once you are familiar, and then we'll move to some more complex part of HTML5, right, which is responsive design for mobile systems. All right, bye bye, take care, and do not forget to answer